This game shouldn't have succeeded. These words brought a tear to my eye to see such a masterful lie crafted to make an underdog story, when in reality this is a story of somebody who gamed the algorithm and realized exactly how to exploit kids without looking like a dumbass and looking like a scumbag. 99 Nights in the Forest is not above its peers. Rather, this game is just smarter than its peers, but it displays the same disturbing monetization practices as well as poor gameplay. This video made me realize that God wasn't real, because no God would allow such blasphemy to reign upon these lands. And this video is a perfect example of betrayal and sucking up to the system.
Okay, but in all seriousness, this guy's video is atrocious. Why did he post this? Like, genuinely, why? Does this guy not have any friends to tell him to not post something? Maybe he just has really bad friends. But in all seriousness, to say that 99 Nights in the Forest should have failed is just a lie.
Nights in the Forest is the most popular game on Roblox, but it shouldn't be. I'm serious when I say that this game defies every single norm that the rest of the front page follows. It's by far the most creative.
This game might seem creative on the surface, but it really isn't creative. All this game does is Frankenstein a bunch of ideas that it doesn't understand. Nothing about this game is creative. And anything else about this game is that it also weekly updates just to make more content that is meaningless. And a lot of the content doesn't fit the style of the game, and a lot of the content genuinely makes the game worse. The only reason why it's added is just to make the game last as long as it can, which is why I think this game is primarily driven by money and nothing else.
And complex game the front page has seen in a long time, and in this video I want to explain why. At its core, 99 Nights in the Forest is an adventure game, a genre we don't often see on the platform much anymore.
Blocks fruits. It's not a good adventure game, but it is an adventure game.
While Doors and Pressure fill out the runner roguelike subgenre, 99 Nights does something completely different. Well, right now, I want to talk about something specific. It's no secret that as Roblox grows, the games on the front page have dipped sharply in quality, all seemingly following a specific formula for success. A formula that I don't particularly like all that much.
No, watch them masterfully debunk themselves. I don't know why they did this. This was clearly not the play. I've never seen this play in chess before, but it's certainly something. They debunked themselves right after this advert by showing that the game's the exact same. You're literally comparing garbage and shit. Stop comparing them.
Let's get back to the brain rot. I've boiled this formula down to 5 major game design choices. The first is the use of stud building.
The Roblox front page isn't one game, it isn't 5, it isn't 10, it's over 100 games. That is a mistake you're making. The stud texture building is like in 10 games. And the front page is over 100. Murder Mystery 2, Blocks Fruits, these games do not have these styles. Just because you think it's a necessity doesn't mean it is.
First, the community has popularized retro slop, emulating the quote-unquote old Roblox style by using this specific kind of brick. The second is the use of admin.
First of all, not a necessity. Second of all, this is because admin abuse is a crutch for incompetent developers like Sammy and, Jandal. They both are really incompetent when it comes to updates, and thus they just do admin abuse. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the reason why they do admin abuse, not because it's some sort of necessity, but because they're incompetent.
The newest player count hack that all the popular games are doing these days. It's gotten to the point where the front page can often look like this.
You can't even make this up. This has got to be some sort of inside joke I don't understand, because how is this video still up? What is this? How is this still in the video? How?
Every Friday night. The third and arguably most damaging is the use of gacha systems and Robux.
Who is coming up with these rules? This is not a requirement to be a popular game. Also, this game has scummy monetization practices. You can only earn gems either by playing the game for an extremely long time by doing quests. Well, not quests, but getting achievements. Or by grinding in the game, which again is scummy. But this scummy monetization practice isn't illegal, so it's never going to be outlawed or banned.
Gambling. Wasting your hard-earned currency on the chance to win something huge. The fourth is called FOMO, or the fear of missing out.
Why did you make this video? Why? No one is forcing you to do this. This just isn't true. This game updates daily. I'm not trying to be rude, but please tell me you have somebody who's telling you that your videos are good to go. You need somebody to check up on your videos. Trust me, I always have somebody on the inside, and I ask them if this video is good to upload. That's why I never upload content, because all my content is ass.
I've mentioned FOMO multiple times before on this channel, and it becomes exponentially more potent when combined with the previous 3. And the final one is something I like to call artificial replay.
Here's a fucks meme lord tip. If your video falls this easily under any small amount of scrutiny or ridicule, then your video probably wasn't a good idea, and you should probably investigate why it was like that. This is a no shit. This is in every of these games, so I won't criticize this. But the problem with this is that 99 Nights in the Forest does display this in its game. The game updates, but all of its updates are really small and insignificant, and they don't matter in the grand scheme of things, and they don't fundamentally change anything, and they don't add anything new. They just add more mechanics that make the game more bloated and worse.
Nothing in these games ever really change, at least not in any meaningful way. Instead, choosing to trick you, the player, into thinking it has. Knowing these 5 game design choices, let's talk about how 99 Nights in the Forest manages to not only be more enjoyable, but more successful than every other game on the front page without using a single one of.
Whoa, that was a fucking lie.
Take Steel Brainrot, for example. Every single inch of this game is covered in studs. Everything from the bases to the maps, even the Brainrot characters themselves, all are built with some studio parts. And a studs to feed a small village. On the surface, no pun intended, sub-building seems completely harmless. It was like that people born years ago were longing for the laws of 18 years ago, but now, especially after games like Garden and the Steel Brainrot blew up, Roblox has been suffering from what I call stud fatigue. The fact that retro slop is even heard in the average vocabulary is surprising, at least, and terrifying at most. While many front page games use the style because it's easier to count on the weekend, 99 Nights decided not to. Instead, going for a much more 2014 to 2017 style of map building. They use Roblox's stock textures, and everything still looks very blocky. But the main thing to take away here is effort. You can immediately tell that the developers of 99 Nights put a lot of thought and care.
I guess you can put it like that. I wouldn't describe it like that. I would describe it as very basic, but, I guess we have different ways of putting it, I know people will point out the saturated colors, but I say that this game has the exact same palette as the other game. It's just, less bright. But at the end of the day, they're both really basic in their style and approach.
Into their builds. While seemingly every other stud game would blow out your screen with the most oversaturated green screen colors I've ever seen, 99 Nights is a far more muted color palette. Being a horror game inherently limits the options 99 Nights has for its visual style. The gray, muted, foggy days and the pitch black nights are much more thematically accurate and serve the style of building took off now, but who saw this and was like, yep, looks great, ship it right now.
Damn, maybe this video is satire, because I was thinking the exact same thing about this video.
Anyway, that was a pretty simple explanation, but now we get into the second strategy, admin abuse.
I won't cover this part because I've already gone over how they use a different strategy, but it's the exact same thing as admin abuse.
Engaging enough for anyone to hop in. To finish a quote-unquote run of 99 Nights requires you to literally stay 99 nights in the forest. While there are ways to make the days go faster, with the main method being saving the 4 missing kids, those 99 nights start to add up the longer you take to save them. This is an organic progression. For games like Steel Brainrot, the developers constantly need to coax the player base into returning to the game by hosting these admin abuse sessions. Because these games have no inherent replayability, the devs basically have to bribe their audience with the often fulfilled promise of rare loot. But 99 Nights doesn't need to do this.
You're right, BedsheetGhost, it doesn't need to do that. All it needs to do is constantly update every week. That's definitely not the exact same thing. It only updates every week. Calm down.
Because it's already a fundamentally enjoyable experience. It should be pretty obvious by now that Steel Brainrot only retains players because of the inherent nature of having rare things in the game. It's fun to flex on other players with your rare Brainrots, even if those Brainrots were obtained through what is essentially legal cheating. It doesn't matter. And for Grow a Garden, you can directly see the results of each admin abuse session plastered all over your garden, whether it was an abundance of what is typically an
Do I even have to repeat myself? I feel like I made my point very clear, but no. 99 Nights in the Forest suffers from all the problems that the front page games have. It's just that this guy enjoys it a little bit more. So instead of acknowledging those flaws, they instead act like they don't exist when they literally do. It's so fucking annoying. Why would you make this video? Why? The best way I can describe this is imagine if somebody who was a chronic weed smoker made a video about how weed is superior to alcohol and every other drug. And throughout the entire video, they list all the problems with alcohol and then ignore the problems with weed and how it's just as bad, if not a little bit less, but still bad. And yeah, that's pretty much this video. It doesn't acknowledge the fact that this is still exploiting children. It doesn't acknowledge the fact that the game is still slump. It doesn't acknowledge any of that
stuff. But now we have to move on to what I consider to be the most insidious design choice these front page games use. One that I have been fighting tooth and nail against since the But then we look at 99 Nights.
This is the equivalent of a participation award. Congratulations, you didn't murder anybody, because murdering people is too difficult to not do. Yeah, no, adding Roblox gambling is not difficult. Developers just take it because it's an easy way out. You shouldn't reward somebody for doing the bare minimum.
Whose only real luck-based systems are the gameplay elements like axes, sacks, and weapons for you to find throughout a run, as well as the rotating class shop that resets every now and then with new classes to buy, complete with prices that, I might add, are reasonable.
There are classes in this game that are fun to play that cost way more than 45 and cost around 200. Let me remind you that getting gems in a run isn't exactly easy. It's not the most difficult thing, but it isn't easy, and it forces you to play the game for a long time. This is something that they don't acknowledge, and combined with the luck, that is an RNG set. This is RNG. It's RNG luck whether or not you end up getting gems or not. That is literally just what you described to be bad. Why are you ignoring this? I'm hoping to God you are not being malicious.
And only requiring in-game currency you can win without spending Robux. And for the few RNG mechanics that 99 Nights has, they feel infinitely more satisfying and worthwhile than any games.
No benefit of the doubt anymore. You're intentionally being malicious. There's no way around it. You are being malicious. There's no way around it at this point. You're advocating for a system that is RNG while not acknowledging that the RNG system is set in place to make it so that it's harder to get kits, which is where the FOMO comes in because kits are extremely broken. The good kits are extremely expensive. The mid kits are extremely expensive. 80 gems is a really good amount of grinding just to get a really shit kit. And there's a lot of kits that are really dog shit, but there's a lot of kits that are really strong and really broken that little Timmy sees his friend playing, and it just absolutely destroys every enemy in its path. So why wouldn't little Timmy want to play with that kit? Of course they want to play with that kit. So they keep grinding over and over and over to get it, and then the next week there's already a new kit that's more broken because they spent their week trying to get that kit. It's not, as you think, a good gameplay loop. It's just FOMO doing FOMO things that the game developers are aware of. That's why they intentionally don't balance any of the kits to be actually good and make sense. That's why some kits are extremely broken and cost a lot, and some kits are really dog shit and cost too little. It's not about balancing. It's about making the game as profitable as possible. And guess who's advocating for it? It's not me. It's you.
That came before it. The anticipation of opening a rare chest holding the possibility of a game-breaking weapon like the tactical shotgun is a perfect example of this. You never know what loot you'll find in the forest, and it's up to you, the player, to decide how you go about taking advantage of that loot. Stack upgrades dramatically change your playstyle from that of a scared little camper just trying to upgrade his fire to a straight-up convoy who can pack as many oil barrels, washing machines, and human corpses as they could possibly carry.
I was going to plan to make a 99 Nights video in which I criticized the game, but I just found no reason to do so. So when I saw somebody who did the opposite of this, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. I don't care. But you know what game was infinitely more deserving of this video? Forsaken. Forsaken is a genuine game about an underdog, even though I don't like Soul Driven Love because, they're a pedophile. But, obviously I don't love them. Don't like them. Fuck. Oh, shit, I'm digging my hole. No. I'm not getting Wingstop from anybody that, associated with Soul, I promise. But no. I don't like Soul Driven Love, obviously. I hate them, as most people do. But they, honestly, the fact that game blew up is a lot more surprising than 99 Nights in the Forest. So it deserved that video way more. Play doors.
Whoop, having a bit of trouble, aren't we? Well, that sure sucks. So you're just gonna camp through the entire game? Sure, I don't care, man. I'm watching this video currently. I don't know if you can. It's that sucks. I don't know what he's doing. I guess they could be I guess. What are you doing? You're gonna die. That guy's holding a crossbow straight to you. What is that cultist doing? Why are they pacing forwards and backwards? They're thinking about what to do. They're actually planning something. He just got struck by lightning.